local project Fluchthelfer, where we work with prisoners in the JVA Bruchsal.
This is Peter. He's one of these prisoners. Before Fluchthelfer, he had to do monotonous work every day for 6 hours straight. So he forgot life outside prison walls. But when he's released, he has to face the outside world's reality. It is so hard for former prisoners to find a job. Often they won't get a chance to prove themselves, and 50% of them fall back into crime.
To give them a better perspective, we had to provide the prisoners with 2 things.
First, a meaningful task during their sentence.
And second, a job after they are released.
So last year, we started our project Fluchthelfer in the JVA Bruchsal.
There, prisoners recycle scrap parts into new bikes, and these are then sold at bike fairs.
As we saw how much this work meant to the prisoners, we just had to make our project sustainable. And that's what we did this Enactus year.
By contacting a lot of train stations, scrap yards and student facilities, we increased the number of suppliers of scrap parts. We went from 3 to 14 suppliers.
This year, 4 prisoners got new mechanical skills, and together they built over 100 bikes.
Now that supply is secured, we took on the distribution part. We won the online shop Bikesale.de as a permanent distributor for our project. Fluchthelfer became more and more famous in our region. For instance, the National Theatre Mannheim ordered 60 Fluchthelfer bikes for the promotion of the Schillertage, which are taking place right now.
When we brought this good news to the prisoners, they were excited to build these bikes. And they were so thankful that they gave us this little Fluchti as a present. That was the moment when we saw that every minute we put in our project was worth it.
With our work this year, we secured the occupation that gives the business so much. By expanding the value chain, we ensured the sustainability of Fluchthelfer.
One day, Peter and his colleagues will get their freedom back. But the only thing that helped them through their prison day will be lost. Fluchthelfer. We wanted to avoid this and to provide them with a job outside prison walls.
Already in prison, they created things like this bike holder whenever they could. Their passion motivated us to go one step further, and that's why we started Fluchthelfer Upcycling. Here you can see the first product of our new business. We did a market survey with over 300 participants and also a cost calculation to identify the sales potential of our products.
As a perfect work environment, we found Rathof Bergheim. They are confident of our project and want to hire former prisoners. The first one who will work there is Peter. This month he was released. And now he can carry on the Fluchthelfer spirit in Fluchthelfer Upcycling.
But that's only the start. Let's listen to Mr. Rachfal, the executive of Rathof Bergheim.
Wir, der Rathof Bergheim, in Zusammenarbeit mit den Enactus-Studenten und auch Gefangenen in Mannheim in naher Zukunft, sprich 2016, einen Radladen eröffnen und die Radszene Mannheim rocken, wie es so schön heißt.
Thanks to Fluchthelfer Upcycling, we fulfill the story of reintegration for more and more prisoners.
Let us see what we've achieved this Enactus year.
This year, we saw the opportunity to recycle scrap parts and give prisoners a second chance.
We took action, expanded our business to 14 suppliers. We generated revenues of over 2,800 euros.
We enabled progress by empowering 4 prisoners with mechanical skills. This year, they built over 100 bikes.
The story of reintegration is continued by not stopping behind prison walls. And Peter now has a chance to start a new life.
After years of focusing on local projects, we decided to go abroad and put our experience into action in a foreign country. So let's take you to Togo in sub-Saharan Africa, where we improve medical care with our project Santé.
When we are sick, we go to the doctor. A thing totally normal to us. We trust them. They are well trained and dedicated to help. In Togo, nurses and doctors are also well trained and dedicated to help, but they simply can't. People in Togo mistrust modern medicine because of their belief in voodoo. But voodoo can neither treat malaria, AIDS, nor easily curable diseases like diarrhea or the flu. Nurses can treat these diseases, but people stay away from the health stations. And if they come, the nurses still lack one essential thing for treatment: electricity. The only light source available are kerosene lamps, but their fumes are toxic, and in their dim glow, any complication can be fatal.
When one of our team members told us about these experiences in Togo, we were shocked. But she also told us some interesting facts that created hope again. Did you know that almost every Togolese owns a cell phone? They do all their business with them. And still, only very few Togolese have access to electricity. So they even walk for hours to the next town to buy their charge loads.
And this huge market potential inspired us to a unique and effective solution for both problems.
We had to bring electricity to the health stations to provide them with a proper light source. And this electricity also enables them to offer a charge load service to attract people to the stations. Thereby, we improve medical care and bring nurses and their patients together.
In August, we flew to Togo. Together with our local partners in Rome and the medical staff, we electrified the first health station.
We made use of Togo's most powerful resource, the sun, and equipped the health stations with eco-friendly solar panels.
We will never forget the joy in the nurses' eyes when they turned on the lights for the very first time. In this moment, we sensed that we're starting change.
It was just amazing to see how many locals came to the health stations as soon as the news about our charge load service spread around the whole village. In this casual atmosphere, people got in touch with the nurses, the first step to lose their fear. Our solar panels lay the foundation to improve medical care and create trust in the nurses' work.
But we did not only want to make this change for one station, but for as many as possible. So with our concept, we won 8 sponsors and raised over 14,000 euros. And with this money, we could electrify 10 health stations.
10 stations. That is not only a number. But for 33 dedicated doctors and nurses, that's a chance to treat their patients how they always wanted to.
And for over 50,000 Togolese, these 10 stations are the only light source within miles. We saw people staying up after sunset just to experience what it means to have light at night.
Ils disent qu'ils sont très contents. Surtout, le jour, ils peuvent déjà venir bien avant, mais dans la nuit, ils peuvent facilement arriver. Ou bien si c'est très difficile, ils peuvent aussi appeler avec leur téléphone. Le projet santé change beaucoup dans la vie de ces personnes. Mais c'est un rêve qui est devenu une réalité.
But that's not all. Thanks to Santé, the health stations sell 3,000 charge loads every month. This results in an additional 320 euros per month, 7 times the average Togolese income. With this money, we empowered the medical staff to further increase trust, further improve medical care, and ensure sustainability.
To further increase trust, the medical staff uses educational trainings for their patients. For example, they established health quizzes to transfer their knowledge about malaria and Ebola prevention.
And the money also enables them to further improve medical care. Every month, a part of it is saved to buy fridges. These are necessary to cool medicine or blood samples for malaria tests.
For us, it is fundamental that the medical staff can treat their patients today better, but also in the future.
So together with them, we implemented an insurance system that covers broken solar panels or spare parts. This ensures the sustainability of our project.
But that's not all. For the first time, the medical staff sees that they can shape their own future. We empower them with our business model to further improve medical care. And they build up a long-lasting bond of trust with their patients.
And it worked out.
Last month, Jerome broke the news to us.
The treatments in our town health stations have doubled since the beginning of Santé. They went from 550 to over 1,100.
Just imagine what this means for the Togolese. 500 people who did not dare coming close to a health station overcame their skepticism and got treated.
Now that Santé is successfully running on its own, we are determined to go even another step further. That's why we already raised over 4,000 euros to get started again in Burkina Faso. we are ready to implement Santé again and bring light and trust to the next region.
So let us see what we have achieved this Enactus year.
We saw the opportunity to use the sun to create electricity and trust.
We took action and gave town hall stations a source for additional income.
We enabled progress and empowered 33 medical staff members to attract more patients.
Thanks to Santé, the number of treatments jumped from 550 to over 1,100 per month.
And now the nurses can finally do what they are dedicated to. They can save lives.
The sun also plays an important role in our next project in Argentina. With Sanaqua, we provide people with one of the most basic things in the world.
Take a look at northern Argentina, an astonishing landscape with mighty mountains and beautiful volcanoes.
But these beautiful volcanoes make it hard for the people to live there. Not that they are active, but they pollute the drinking water with the toxic metal arsenic. The concentration of arsenic in the water is 20 times higher than the standard set by the World Health Organization. You cannot see the arsenic in the water, you cannot smell it. But arsenic poisoning causes heart and skin diseases, cancer, and leads to a slow death.
People are aware of the problem, but the tragic thing is that they have no other choice than drinking the polluted water. With €1.40 per liter, clean, bottled water is far too expensive. So the local families would have to spend more than half of their income to buy this water. So parents do not only have to drink this water themselves, but are also forced to give it to their children.
Like us, Gaston Mandusa, our partner, wants to make a change. He cannot bear to watch these children drinking the poisoned water day after day.
But the problem is that most water purification systems don't filter the toxic arsenic, and others are far too expensive.
With a lot of effort, we finally identified the ultrafiltration membrane that filters the toxic arsenic out of the water and still is affordable. This membrane is the first component of our own water purification system.
But to work properly, this filter needs high water pressure. This pressure is generated by our second component, an engine. The low-heat Stirling engine we identified is special in many ways. It works only with the heat of the sun, and it can be built with low-cost materials.
But let me explain how the whole thing works. The heat of the sun gets concentrated on a parabolic dish, which looks like a big mirror. This heat is then transferred to the engine, causing the air inside to expand. That creates movement and drives the engine so that the water is pressured through the membrane. By this, the arsenic can be removed completely.
The combination of parabolic dish, Stirling engine, and ultrafiltration membrane has never been used before.
Our system is the perfect solution to all problems. It filters the toxic arsenic out of the water, it produces affordable drinking water, and is sustainable. All three at the same time.
It can be driven only by the sun, and it has no electrical components at all. This makes it eco-friendly and sustainable.
Our water purification system can produce 1,000 liters of clean drinking water every day.
And with costs lower than 1 cent per liter, drinking water is affordable for everyone.
And the best part is, the whole system can be built by Gaston himself. When we told him that with a system at hand to provide a whole community with clean water, he wanted us to come right away.
But without money, we couldn't start. That's why we pitched our project in front of executives and took part in many competitions.
And now, our donors support us with over 11,000 euros to start. This is enough money to finance 3 systems to purify water.
This water will then be sold to the local community. The revenues will be paid into a fund. With 3 systems contributing to the fund, the next station can be financed within only 6 months.
We will set up the first system together with Gaston to local mechanics. The people in their community will be the first ones to benefit from our project. We empower Gaston and the mechanics to build the next 2 systems completely on their own. And thanks to our financing model, our project will exponentially spread over whole northern Argentina. And Gaston will finally be able to provide these people with clean drinking water.
Years of
team experience have led to these moments we've just shared with you.
106 people kept on asking, what if? And together with our people, we found the answers.
We didn't see scrap parts.
But the opportunity to give 4 prisoners a second chance.
We didn't see a simple phone charger,
But the possibility to improve medical care for over 1,000 people.
And we didn't only feel the warm sun on our skin.
But the potential to provide 3 communities with clean drinking water.
In all of our projects, we have helped over 100 people.
To improve over 1,000 lives.
we don't see the world as it is,
But as it can be.
we are.
Enactus Mannheim.
We will now begin the question and answer period. Only judges may ask questions, please.
First of all, great presentation, impressive results. Regarding your project in Africa, how many days did you stay in Africa in order to run the need assessment, in order to build up a concept and to empower your people?
First of all, thank you for your question. For the need assessment, we had one of our team members being down in Togo just for 1 year because she did her voluntary work there. And what she experienced there was that there were health stations, but there was no light at these health stations and that there were no people coming to them. And then after she came back and then she joined Enactus, she told us about her story. And then we said, okay, we have to change that. And then we did our need assessment and did some research, and then we found out that there's this lack of electricity, that people really do all their business with their phones but have no access to electricity, and that's where we saw the opportunity to attract people to the health stations. Yeah, so and in August we flew to Togo to install the first solar panels, and we stayed there for 2 weeks to make sure that everything's running properly, that they are installed, that the nurses really understood our marketing tools, we got them, but also the concepts for the health courses, for example, and this is how we implemented Santé in Togo.
Can you tell me something more about your people empowered, people impacted, and your people reached, as you mentioned it in your annual report?
Of course, yes. I will answer that question. So, like you may see, this year we have empowered 100 people. And the great thing about our project is that by empowering these 100 people, we enable them to further spread their knowledge, their experiences, their know-how to 1,400 people. I think that's the number in the annual report. So, in our projects, we enable those people to do what they are dedicated to do what they love. And so these 100 people impacted 1,400 people, and with all our activities our Enactus team did in general, we reached I think about 2 million people this year. That's how those numbers come together.
Excellent projects, very well done. The question that I have is for the last project, the process to clean the water. Was that your own invention? How did you get to that particular process? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question. I'm Niels, the project leader of Sanaqua, and I would like to answer your question. Of course, filtering arsenic out of the water and doing a proper water purification is not a simple process. Therefore, we have first looked at systems and came to a conclusion with a system that made the whole system that we built twice as expensive. And then we came in touch with Dr. Arafin, a water technologist from BASF, who updated us with new information that made that we could use a simpler system that is cheaper and that filters out all the arsenic. It's also very new technology with an ultrafiltration system in combination with an oxidation process, and after that an after filter. Quite a complicated story. I would love to talk to you about it later. Yes, it's, and as a product leader, I just want to say that I'm so happy that we actually found this and that we can make that change. We heard that 3 weeks ago, the school that we first want to implement it actually had to be closed because there were people getting sick from the water quality. So we identified first a school, and then the school was actually closed. So that's also why Gaston Manduza is so extremely motivated, because he actually sees what is happening there and how big this technology can change the situation. Thank you very much.
Further question on the water purification system. How many systems are actually installed, and what are the costs of the purification on a per liter of drinking water basis?
Thank you very much for your question. So we have established a system. I actually had one of the person, the engineer that found out or invented the Stirling engine this morning, and we have established that we have our last very training to build that system and to in September then fly there half September, build the first 3 systems, because we already have the finance, which is fantastic, of course.
Your time has expired. Judges,
Thank you.
please join me in thanking Uni Mannheim for their presentation and great work.